Welcome back to Aligned with Purpose. I'm your host, Jamie Kullman, and on this show, we are dedicated to building the vision for your future and beginning to embody that future self today and taking action as him or her to start to manifest that dream into your reality starting today. And in this episode, what we're going to talk about is beginning to really embody and embrace the process of becoming and of creating this life, and really why taking time off in this journey is essential to your next level, into really just feeling greater alignment in what you're creating. And really the whole idea for this episode came because I've had a few clients lately. Look, in this business, what we do is we do push seasons, right? And this would look like 14 days where you go all in on your business and basically just push to get massive results in 2 weeks. And what happens sometimes is people go so hard in that season that it kind of pushes them out of alignment a little bit, right? Like they're working so hard in their business that they're like, holy shit, this is insane. And they kind of lose touch with the joy and the fun of creating it. And that's not the purpose of the push, right? The purpose of the push is to push you, right? And to show to yourself what's possible when you're crushing it and taking action on the profit generating activities. But it's not meant to push you out of alignment. And so this episode is for those of you who are feeling slightly out of alignment with, say, the business that you're creating or the amount of time that you're spending working, right? So really what you need of it right now is like you need more connection to your purpose versus tactics. Like right now, you don't need tactics. What you need to do is have someone guide you through a process where you can zoom out, right? And play it forward. Really connect to what it is that you're creating. And like we said, like this whole podcast is about, then we've got to shift gears and think, how can we truly start to create this vision and begin living it right now? Not overworking because we wish we were further than we were, trying to create something too quickly, which is causing friction and causing resistance here and now. Okay? So we need to learn how we can begin to fall in love with the process, right? And ultimately, what that looks like is realizing that regardless of you actually getting the outcome, right, or hitting the goal that you've set for yourself, it's realizing that the journey of who you're becoming while focusing on that goal, right? The goal is meant to change you. It's meant to pull you out of the smallness that once was your reality and forces you to change. It's never been about achieving the goal itself. And that's what you've got to connect to. Because if you truly, truly believed right now that if achieving the goal wasn't really the goal, it wasn't really the end game, but actually who you were becoming in the process and the reality of the day to day that you're creating was actually what you were doing it for, you would stop wanting to be further than you already are, and you would start creating your day down to the moment that you're in right now. Because that's truly all that you ever have, right? So it's embracing the resistance, it's embracing the uncertainty, and it's having fun along the way. It's finding the joy. And you know what? I know there's days of pure confusion where everything feels like it's fucked up and it's hard and there's so much resistance and there's so much that has you question whether or not you should fully trust. I get it. And I think we all go through it more than we care to admit. But the truth is, when we realize that it's not about that, the thing that's coming, the thing that we're building, and it's about embracing today, that's when everything starts to change. And what's crazy, like for me, it's like I have to stop for a second and look at what I'm in right now, the season that I'm in right now, to be like, holy shit, I'm already doing it. Like, sure, the vision that I hold requires this larger version of me, this more evolved, more bold, more courageous, more wealthy version of myself, of course. But she'd be so proud of who I am today because she knows that I'm on the path to becoming her. But it all comes down to changing your day, which means being present in your moment that you're in right now. And this is super interesting. One thing that I started doing kind of recently, actually, was like removing myself from being in the hustle and the doing of things. Okay. So it's like you're doing the dishes, you're cooking the dinner, you're caring for your kid, you're cleaning the house, like whatever it is that you're doing, remove myself from that thing and just be like an observer of what's happening, right? Like pull yourself out of the doing for a minute and just watch everything. Now, I have this background on my phone and it says, "The secret to living is enjoying the passage of time" by James Taylor. See? And I set this as my screensaver because I think that's literally life. So the secret of life is enjoying the passage of time. It's not about wanting to be somewhere that you're not, or waiting for this thing that's going to come next, or thinking about what you're going to do for dinner when you're having a fire outside with your family, or thinking about this thing that you've got to do when your son is taking a nap. It's not about that. That's pulling you out of this moment. In life is about slowing down. It's about enjoying watching time happen. And something so interesting happened when I began to truly embody that, as I would be sitting on the couch, no TV, nothing like that, and just watching Kylo play and just enjoying that passage of time. And it's wild. And I truly feel like that is how you fall in love with the process. You enjoy the passage of time. You enjoy the creation of the thing in your vision coming to life. Because right now your vision might just exist up here in your mind. And that's a really special, beautiful thing. But then when you start to see it in your reality, it's even cooler. So we're decorating our rig right now, which is super exciting. I actually love interior design. I've just never really had my own space to like let that part of me be creative and be set free. And it was so fun to create these like Pinterest boards and this mood board for each room of the rig and just get really clear on what we wanted. And I started to realize, oh my gosh, I'm so clear on what I want. I know exactly what that is, but nothing's changing because I hadn't like actually ordered the stuff, right? But it's as simple as putting stuff in your cart and hitting checkout and paying for it. And then within days now, sometimes minutes, you can have the stuff show up at your front door and you can make a change in your house. You can do the same exact thing in your life by changing what's in your mind, by changing how we start to see our vision and the way that we show up today, which is insane. It's insanely cool. The problem is, okay, sorry, one more thing. So we found this outdoor patio set that we really wanted to order. And it was on Wayfair, which I think Wayfair has like really good quality stuff, honestly. And it said 3 to 4 weeks for delivery. And I was like, oh, fucking A. Like, I don't want to wait that long. We just cleared our entire back area to make space for this new patio set. And we just don't want to wait that long. Then it brought up a really deep conversation between Steve and I. I was like, you know what? That's like manifestation. It's like we can know for sure that the patio set is coming in 3 to 4 weeks because we bought it and because we're tracking it and we fully trust that it's going to be here, right? We've made space in our backyard, right? We're intentionally calling it in. We designed it. We know exactly what we want. We've ordered it. It's coming. Now we just have to hold the space for it. But the problem is with our manifestation and in that resistance that we're talking about is we place that order with the universe and then we sit there and we're like, oh my God, maybe it's not coming. Maybe I made the wrong decision. Maybe it should be this other way. Maybe I wasn't thinking this clearly. Maybe I'm not ready. What will my mom think? What will these people on social media think? And you just go down this spiral and this rabbit hole, and it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper until you're totally screwed up in your mind and you don't trust that you made the right decision. So what does that do? It pushes it further and further away. So it's not coming into your life, which that makes it even harder to enjoy taking time off and to shut it off, because we're trying to cling and we're trying to hold on so badly to this thing that we want, when we've just got to loosen our grip. We've got to loosen our grip. Trust that we're clear in the vision and trust that it's coming, but also trust that we are actively taking the correct action every single day in pursuit of that thing. You got to hold on loosely. Yeah? So like, I hear this all the time too. It's like, Jamie, I can't take time off because I'm not there yet. I don't have the results that I want yet. I'm not at the level of business, the level of life, whatever that I want, and therefore I can't slow down, Jamie. Maybe your word is going to stop. But the truth is, as soon as you get there to that perceived there, that goal, that end goal, that you're like, Jamie, once I do this, then I'll take time off. Once you get there, there's only going to be another there that pops up. And so the reality of it is, if we don't start to be present in your now, right now, fully trusting that what you're building will come, because it will, you will never give yourself the time to shut it off and to be off and to enjoy the unfolding and the creation of what you are making. That time off is just as important as the time on. And to be honest, the one thing that I heard that anchored this in for me was like, if you actually don't give yourself the space to shut it off and just to be present in life without thinking of, oh my gosh, is there an email I got to send? Is there another thing in my program I need to film? Where's my next client coming from? Like all of those things that can go on in your mind. If you're constantly looping and thinking about it, it's like this downward spiral of confusion. But when you truly shut it off and when you step away, that's when the breakthrough comes through. That's when you get clarity. That's when you connect to source. And that's where you figure it out. Right? You have to prioritize taking care of yourself. But more importantly than anything, you have to prioritize creating your day to be exactly as you envision it to be in your future. And you get to do that. And that includes putting yourself first. That includes prioritizing your self-care. That also includes your family and the activities you love in your business. It includes all of those things. But you have to be able to shut off thinking about your business 24/7. You have to. Especially if you're doing this business with somebody that you love or somebody that you're close to, or maybe they're always there to mastermind with you. Like that's Steve for me. We're always like going back and forth, masterminding on certain stuff. And we have found it difficult to shut that off. Like we'll be on a hike and we'll be masterminding, or we'll be around the fire pit and we're masterminding, and we both love it so much. So it's easy for us to want to continue talking about it. But there's been times where like, you know what? We're off. We're off. And sure, I'll have notes in my phone or journal on my phone or journal with me. And of course, I'll write things down as they come through in my mind. I'll write them down, of course. It's also a great time to get clarity, but it's just actively saying like, I am done. I am off. As soon as I shut my computer, I'm off. And it's liberating. Sometimes that's all it takes, right? So if you know your hard stop time for your business or for your job is 4 or 5 p.m., like whatever that time is for you, make it a habit. Try it today. When you close that laptop, say to yourself or out loud, I'm done. I'm off. I did great work today. And I'll do great work again tomorrow, but now's my time. And go live your life. Because if you wait another year, 5 years, 10 years, maybe you don't ever figure this out, then we're going to be a decade down the line and we're still going to be chasing something. What are you running from? What are you running from? And what are you chasing that you feel is going to be better than just opening your eyes, looking around, and realizing that you already have it? I'm going to share an episode about a breathwork experience that I went through, and I'm not going to go deep into it because I have a whole episode about it. It was actually like a journal entry that I was doing just for myself after my session because I was driving and I didn't want to be like texting and driving. So I was just recording myself, and halfway through it, I start filming it like it's a podcast episode just because that's when I use my voice. It's just a habit, and yeah, it was really interesting. So, but the main breakthrough is funny. I started laughing because I'm like, it's really that simple to just be so in the knowingness of what we're creating and realizing that we are enough and that we already have everything that we could ever need if we just wake up and truly see it and open our eyes. And if you're listening to this and you fully understand what I'm saying, you're going to feel like you're seeing life for the first time. Because that's what it feels like. Now there's times where we kind of go in and out of this knowingness, right? Kind of like, at least for me, like where I'm at in my journey, it's like sometimes I'll be in that state of confusion and I have to just take a pause and zoom out. But I'm actively doing it now. Like I have this awareness where I didn't in the past, this awareness of knowing that we're in this not trusting space and feeling that resistance and feeling like we have to be in it because we're not there yet. I have awareness now so I can stop it. I can zoom out and look around and be like, you know what? We've made it. In a lot of ways, we've made it. Sure, we're still pursuing other things, and that's going to keep pushing us and keep evolving us. But at the end of the day, I see how far I've come. And honestly, I see how far you've come. Because the fact that you're listening to this episode still shows me that you have awareness of who you're becoming, and you have awareness that it really isn't about the end goal, but it's about who you're becoming. And so we might as well fucking enjoy it. Right? We better just embrace the process and the unfolding of you becoming who you've always meant to be. Okay, so practice some self-compassion. Give yourself grace. And right now, I want you to pull out your phone, unless you're driving. Pull out your phone. I want you to look at your calendar, or if you use a old-fashioned pen and paper calendar, whip it out and go in your calendar and go pick out a day, not a weekend, okay? Like a Monday through Friday day. And I want you to mark out the entire day as your day off. You're not allowed to think about work. You're not allowed to talk about work. It's a day for you to just shut it off. Like you can turn your phone on airplane mode. Like my favorite thing to do is I'll go do yoga in the garden over here, and I'll go lay in my hammock and do a meditation and go read my book, take Kylo down to the creek, like go to the park, go on an adventure, like whatever you got to do. This is just a day for you to just do nothing and just rejuvenate. It's so wildly fulfilling, and it doesn't have to be just on the weekend. That's actually what I want to highlight is doing it, especially if you're a business owner, taking an intentional day off on a day Monday through Friday. That's just for you. I love Wednesdays as that's right in the center of the week. I love to just have that day to just regroup and do nothing. That was my day yesterday. Okay, so pencil that in. That is your one action step for right now. And if you're finding value from my podcast, please, it literally means the world to hear from you. So leave a rating and review wherever you're listening. Take like 30 seconds of your day and just share your main takeaway from this episode or from any of the other ones that you've listened to, because you are being coached by Jamie right now. And I can't wait to continue bringing you on this journey with me. I've actually just kicked off an entirely new YouTube channel where I'm actually going to be sharing behind the scenes of how I'm building up this business, how we're doing this from life on the road with a kiddo. And yeah, I will just continue showing up, being vulnerable, being authentic, and sharing this journey and the unfolding of who I'm becoming along the way too. I hope this helped, and I can't wait to catch you in the next episode.